Hello.
Hello?
That'll be $2.
Okay. I have a 20.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
Hello, police. I have an emergency. I need you to send help.
Are you okay? Get out of the car! You're going to jail, man. Get in the car. She's dead!
Gosh darn it. All rise. Department 1 of Superior Court is now in session. Judge Thomas presiding. Please be seated.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Calling the case of Martinelli versus Miles. Are both sides ready?
Ready for the people, Your Honor.
Ready for the defense, Your Honor.
Will the clerk please swear in the jury?
Will the jury please raise your right hand? Do each of you swear that you will fairly try the case before this court, and that you will return true verdict according to the evidence that is the instructions of the court? So help you God. Please say, I do.
I do.
Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the court, the defendant has been charged with the crime of murder of the first degree.
The prosecution may call its first witness.
The people call Cooper Hicks.
Stand, raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your first and last name for the record.
Cooper Hicks.
What is your occupation?
I am the manager of the local convenience store.
Where were you the evening of May 5th?
I was working at the store.
It is my understanding that you witnessed the incident between Miss Martinelli and Miss Miles. Could you please tell the jury what you saw?
I was working at the register and ringing up Miss Martinelli's item when Miss Miles came in barreling through the front door of the store and punched Miss Martinelli in the face. She then proceeded to demand that I hand over all the money in her cash drawer at that time, and then I refused and called the cops and the ambulance.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
The prosecution may call its next witness.
The people call Marcus Braden.
Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please state your first and last name for the record.
Marcus Braden.
What is your occupation?
I'm an op.
Please tell the jury what you witnessed on the night of May 5th.
I received a call from Mr. Hicks, the store manager, and I immediately rushed over there. And when I showed up, I saw Mrs. Miles get hit by Mrs. Martinelli, and it was very brutal. I ran over to Mrs. Miles. She lay dead on the ground, and I went over and ripped Mrs. Martinelli out of her car, and I took her down to the police station. And
Thank you. I have no further questions.
The witness is excused. Does the defense rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm now going to read you the law that you must follow in deciding this case. To prove the crime charged against the defendant, the prosecution will have proven three things to you. First, that the defendant committed the crime. Second, that the crime was committed with premeditation. And third, and that the plaintiff suffered from bodily harm because of the defendant's actions. If each of you believes that the prosecution proved all three of these things beyond a reasonable doubt, then you should find the defendant guilty. But if you believe that the prosecution failed to prove these things, you must find the defendant not guilty. Will the jury foreperson please stand? Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes. Guilty.
The jury finds the defendant guilty.
The jury is thanked and excused. Court is adjourned.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming. You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
Will the clerk please swear in the jury?
You may be seated.
You're going to jail, miss.
Will the jury foreperson please stand? Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Name to read.
Starting with me.